Authorities have urged private sector organizations to move away from using National Registration Identity Card, or NRIC numbers. They're also working with regulated sectors like finance, healthcare and telecommunications to provide sector-specific guidance in the coming months. Nicolas Ng with more.
Using NRICs to verify a customer's identity is something that banks have mostly stepped away from. While the government is working to develop sector-specific guidance in the coming months, there's some general direction for businesses now. A joint advisory issued by the Personal Data Protection Commission and the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore have urged companies to move away from using NRIC numbers as a means of authentication. That's using both the numbers alone or in combination with easily accessible information, like someone's birthday. Instead, they point to methods that are commonly recommended by cybersecurity professionals. Those would be using something that only the person knows, like a strong password, something that only the person owns, like a security token or a smart card, or something that's inherent to a person that only they can have, for example, a face or a fingerprint. The discussion around using NRICs for authentication was kicked to the spotlight last year, after users found that full NRIC numbers could be unmasked on the corporate regulator's website. Since then, there's been a push to change the way identification numbers are used. Singtel, for instance, says it no longer requests NRICs for authentication. The telco adds that it's waiting for guidelines from the Infocom Media Development Authority before assessing any potential impact to operations. An association representing banks says NRIC numbers are still being used in some cases for authentication, like opening encrypted documents, but they are exploring other alternatives. However, one analyst warns that smaller companies may not be so quick to make the switch.
The first thing is thing being advanced in the use of the new alternative. And I think, of course, definitely there's this budgetary concern. Using other methods will incur costs. And of course, they also need certain techniques because some of the technologies away from NRIC may be complex.
He adds that this is especially true for small and medium enterprises. But if consumers and businesses push for higher standards, they could see widespread adoption of such methods more quickly.